Hello there and welcome to the new Power BI video. And in this Power BI video, I will show you the count function. So whenever you have a need, when you need to count the customers, you need to count the products, you need to count the number of orders, you will going to utilize the count function. And within Power BI, you have multiple count functions. As you can see, I have listed down all the different count functions that is available within Power BI, and step by step I will show you all of these functions as well as some tips and tricks during the videos, and finally some exercise so that you can practice it. So let's first start with the count function. So before I move ahead, just a quick information that this spreadsheet is present in the description, so that if you want to look at any previous video of Power BI, you can look at it. Also, along with this, there is another link which is present for the Google Data Studio report, which contains all of my videos from my channel, which you can search and jump to a video using the link which has been provided. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the Tableau. The Power BI, and see the count function. Alright, so here we are within the Power BI, and what we will going to do is create first of all a visualization, and I'll show you two different methods of using the count function. So what we will, let's say, create is maybe the matrix, or maybe this one, whatever works fine for us, but for now let's create matrix. And for dimension, what I'm going to choose, let's say the customer not the customer name, but maybe the category of the customer. So this category of customer is basically your product category, which says furniture, office supply and technology. If you want little bit more detail, you can even look at another, which is subcategory, which is over here. So we can cross this one from rows and we can move this to here, because by default it will going to pick up in the columns after the rows. Alright, so we have it over here. Whatever dimension we want, either category, product category or anything else. Now in the values, what we will going to do is we will going to, let's say we want to count the number of orders, right? So we will look at the order number field, and so we have order ID, this one, and we'll just use this, not in the columns but over here. So if you see what it gives you, the first order ID. However, that's not what we want. So we'll go inside this, and here we have couple of options like first, last, count, distinct and count. So we'll use the count, and it straight away give us the count of all the subcategories. So for example, in accessories you have 775 orders, for appliances you have 466 orders, and then you also have the option you can sort up and down. So as I clicked over here, the highest orders are coming here. So for example, binders is where you are getting the most of the orders, compared to the copiers where you are getting very few orders. So as you can see, the count function or the counting of value will give you a lot of insights into your data, as what are your top three categories in which you are getting the orders, or what are your least three or the last three categories in which you are getting the orders. So that's something very, very useful. Now this counting, what we have done is using the count function, which is an inbuilt here, and I don't recommend this is because, for example, if you have to do the count of order ID, if you have to use it at multiple different metrics, if you are creating a big report, it may be a possibility that you are using this in 4 or 5 different places, or maybe 10 different places. In that case, using the order ID again and again and changing it to a count does not make a whole lot of sense. And think about a scenario if you need to change little bit into let's say, for example, instead of count of order ID, you need, let's say, count of another value, maybe for example postal code, right? So that way you have to go in each and every metric, figure out where it is and then change it. Instead, what you can do is you can create a measure. By creating a measure, what you can make sure is that you have a central location where your count of values are present or count of a field is present, and you can simply use that field wherever it is needed, and whenever a change required, you just change that one field or one measure, and at all the places where that field is used in all the charts it is used, it will be changed automatically. So let's see how you can do that. So a couple of ways by which you can do that, and one of the nicest ways, you right click over here and click on new measure. So once you click on new measure, it gives you an area or a place over here, as you can see, which can enable you to write a measure. So what you can do, order count, order underscore count, and you use the function which is COU. As I've just written the COU, you can see that all the different functions which is starting from COU is being given to us by IntelliSense of the Power BI. So I am pressing the tab and count. What do I want count? I want count of order ID. So I'll just click over here, press tab and close this, right? So now I have this field which is order count. I'll just press enter over here, and it will going to create a new measure for us which is present over here. And if you see, the measure is having a different icon altogether, right? So now what I can do is I can select this visualization again, and over here I'll just remove this. Instead, what I'll use is the order count, and it gives me the same value if you observe, right? Accessories 775, binders is basically 1523. All of this is very similar, but I don't have to specify any order count. Or if you go inside this, what you see is different values altogether. That means you have a different features, right? For example, you can do conditional formatting, you can rename this field, you can show the value as. There are a couple of options like no calculation, percentage of grand total, percentage of column total, percentage of row total. All of these facilities are now we have it because we are using the measure which is order count, right? So once we have this, oops, I just clicked maybe something here. So let me quickly remove this Q&A button, remove, right? So what do we have is the order of count. Now, as a part of exercise, what you should do is you create another measure which will going to count the customer ID, right? So we have the order ID. What you will going to count is the customer ID, which I have shown you how you can do that by creating a measure. And another exercise which you should do is on the product ID by counting the product ID. For example, in this accessories subcategory, how many products are present and how many customers are present along with the orders that you have got. So that way, this metric at the end, once you will complete the exercise, it will show you how what are the total order, what are the total customer, what are the total products, and you will have the complete information about your database from the perspective of subcategories. So that's very insightful information. We can get it. And one more thing I want to show you, which I mentioned, that for example, tomorrow, if we want to change from order count to, let's say, customer count, we can very easily do it. For example, if you click here and go into these three ellipses which you have, what you see is count of sample order ID. You can simply remove this, right, and write the new field name. That way, wherever this count, the order count, you can change it to something more generic, right, which is hash count, or something else which is more meaningful from business perspective. And if it is used at 15 different places, you just change it here, and all those 15 different charts and visualization or metrics, it will be changed accordingly. So that's very quickly I wanted to show you about the count function, about its benefit, and now I'll meet you in the next video with a different count function. And before I move ahead, one last important thing is that count function does not count the blank or missing values, right? So in that case, if there is any order ID which is missing, it will not count that. And we have different functions which I showed you, and I will show you when the function is coming to us for the purpose of demo. So that's about it. I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.